So that's what it felt like to me. And they got lost in the anti-Israel, anti-Semitism angle of attack so hard that they didn't even hit Zohran on like he's inexperienced, he wants to defund the police, he's like pro-gay or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I think Zohran still would have won in spite of a more aggressive campaign that, like a more aggressive messaging campaign against Zohran that featured some of the other things, right? If they were to like actually fucking hit Zohran on like how young he is or how he said he wants to defund the police or all this other shit, like I do think that would have made a bigger dent. But I think he would have still been able to overcome. He would have been able to withstand that pressure. I think he would have been able to overcome all of that pressure. But because they were so invested in the Israel stuff, which is an incredibly unpopular position amongst the regular public, and an even more unpopular position amongst the Democratic voter base, that is an incredibly popular position in the media and in our politics, that dichotomy, that difference in opinion caused them to miscalculate. Because Israel, incredibly popular in Congress, most popular, okay? Israel, incredibly popular in the media, most popular nation state in the media. But amongst the public, Israel is very unpopular, and especially unpopular, like 80% disapproval when it comes to the Democratic Party. And this is a closed primary race for the Democratic Party in the city of New York. So they thought, oh, there's a lot of Jews in New York, and all Jews, as you know, only care about Israel. Classic, right? Like, they believe their own bullshit. This goes back to what I constantly think about, where I always say, like, are these guys stupid or are they malicious? Oftentimes they're both, right? Oftentimes they're both stupid and malicious. But it does feel like, to me, this much Zohran Mamdani doesn't fuck with Israel sentiment came from a place of stupidity, where they actually believed their own lies, that all Jews care about is Israel. That's all they care about. And there's a lot of Jews in New York. There's a lot of Democratic Party voters that are Jewish in New York. They're super overrepresented in primaries like this. So clearly, because they all care about Israel, and the only thing they care about is Israel, if we just hit this line of attack, then Zohran is toast. He's cooked. It's over. They must have believed their own fucking lies. Otherwise, if they were actually smart, if they actually had, even AIPAC's attitude on this, because AIPAC, regardless of how fucking evil it is actually very smart in the way that they run against anti-Israel candidates. They never really talk about Israel. AIPAC does not run ads on candidates, attack ads on candidates, and heavily feature Israel at all. So many of these advocacy groups, like Democratic Majority for Israel, AIPAC, these groups, and the other ones that they create, these like other corporations and other PACs that they create under the banner of AIPAC, without actually even, while trying to hide their association with AIPAC, will oftentimes focus not on Israel, but on attack ads that directly pertain to the race. Because AIPAC understands that they don't give like most people don't fucking care about Israel. Like, they don't give a shit. If you were to look at like the millions of dollars that they dumped into the race against Cori Bush, for example, they never talked about fucking Israel. They never actually talked about Cori Bush's opinion on Israel. They never featured that at all, because who the fuck would care in Cori Bush's district about Israel? Are you kidding me? AIPAC knows that. So the fucking dumbasses in both the media and the dumbasses that were in the tank for Cuomo, and Cuomo himself unironically, stupidly believed this lie that, like, oh, if they just constantly hammer on this Israel point, then they'll be able to effectively dismantle Zohran's campaign. If they constantly just like keep fucking yelling about how Zohran is anti-Semitic and how he's not sufficiently pro-Israel over and over again, that the Jewish electorate that has an outsized representation in the New York primaries in the Democratic Party will come out and vote against them. Not realizing that New York Jews are New Yorkers. They're not fucking Israeli. If they wanted to live in Israel, they very easily could live in fucking Israel. There are a tremendous amount of incentives to go and live in Israel if you're Jewish, okay? There are. You get fucking free healthcare. First and foremost, they will even subsidize your housing. Why the fuck wouldn't you want to go and live in Israel if you cared about Israel that much? The very fact that New York Jews don't want to live in fucking Israel implies that they're New Yorkers. They're American. They're not Israeli. And if you're a New Yorker, regardless of your religious background, regardless of your worldview, you got New York problems. And you're going to want to vote for a mayor that's going to address these New York problems. I will tell you exactly how this happened. They do not know Jewish people. They don't have Jewish friends in their life. The only Jewish people they know are lobbyists for Israel, so they have no idea what the average Jew gives a shit about, which is progressivism. Yeah. For sure. Like, this doesn't mean that there aren't Jewish people that fucking have an outsized interest in Israel. There certainly are. A big chunk of those Jewish voters, however, vote for the Republican Party anyway. They consistently and reliably fucking vote for the Republican Party.